Welcome back to DeadBall TV, everybody. We've been doing the best 11 series from continent to continent, and today it is Africa's turn, and I brought on Michael once again to create a CAF best 11 for 2024-2025. We're going to have two different lists. I have no idea who's on Michael's best 11. He doesn't know who's on mine. I don't even think we have the same formation. So what I'm trying to say is buckle up. Could be a bumpy ride. If you guys like videos covering African football, we're going to start warming up towards the next AFCON and all the content that's going to be dropping for that. So make sure you're subscribed. Michael also has a ton of videos about the African qualifiers, AFCON qualifiers, all that stuff on the channel. So please give him a subscribe if you have not already done so. Michael, let's start with the goalkeeper position. Actually, before we start at goalkeeper, let's say our formations. I went 3-4-3, but you went something different.
My man went 3-4-3. He thinks he's Inzaghi or something out here. 4-3-3. Just keep it basic, people.
Yeah, I was inspired by the Champions League. I said, you know what, we gotta switch this up. Fortunately, both our formations include a goalkeeper, and you'll see why I went to the 3-4-3 because there was like two guys. It just felt wrong to only have one of them in here. Okay, and I felt like, anyways, let me not get ahead of myself. Goalkeeper. I went with Ronwen Williams from Sundowns in South Africa.
Any reasoning, or just he's just been good this season?
The number one, so I'm not going to flex like I watched the African Champions League, but the guy has an 83% save percentage, which is absolutely insane. Dude, they have 10 clean sheets from 17 league games, which is ridiculous. And I know some people are like, oh, it's the same thing when you're making the Asia best 11. If you include like a player playing in Saudi or UAE or something, everyone's like, oh, it's a farmers league or whatever. When I was looking at the European continent, I didn't see a ton of alternatives where I was like, you know what? That guy absolutely deserves it. There's a few names that I was like, oh, there's an argument here, 100%. But I was like, you know what? Let me give it to my boys holding things down for Sundowns. And that's where I got Williams. Who do you have, though?
Don't worry. I got the same guy, Ronwen Williams, the best CAF goalkeeper right now. You did actually say the craziest stat. He's got 5 clean sheets in 11 games in the CAF Champions League. And Mamelodi Sundowns are in the CAF Champions League final right now. I think they drew the first leg 1-1 with Pyramids, and they're going to have the second leg, I think, this weekend or next weekend, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Ronwen Williams is unbelievable. I mean, got to give a shout-out, though, to Edouard Mendy, who won the AFC Champions League with Al Ahly. So those are kind of the two only standout goalkeepers for me from the CAF region this season. Otherwise, you could say Bono, but Al Hilal kind of fumbled it in the AFC Champions League. So got to give it to Ronwen Williams. Beast of a goalkeeper.
I'm glad you feel the same, because I was looking at my depth chart and I was like, is Onana third? I was like, am I insane?
Hey, at this rate, I don't think he's even top 5. I'm going to be honest.
Okay. There's one. Yeah, you go.
Go ahead.
Based on talent.
Based on talent,
I want to hear based on talent.
Okay. Based on talent, he's number 1.
Not performance. Okay. There was the one dude, and this is embarrassing that I'm forgetting this because it's a La Liga club, and I think he's from Equatorial Guinea. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, it's from Alaves, but he's a backup goalkeeper.
He's a backup goalkeeper. I only saw him in one game, and I was like, who the hell is this guy? And I was like, oh my God, is Equatorial Guinea starting goalkeeper in La Liga?
Yeah.
But I don't think he had enough games to qualify.
No, I know he's the backup goalkeeper.
Awono.
There we go. Yep.
Awono. 24 years old. Let's see. He only played 6 games. I mean, yeah, I don't think goalkeeper was the deepest position. No. But Ronwen, bro, stud. And I didn't factor in international like hardly at all. But if I did, then I think it's even more Ronwen Williams. So yeah, he's got it on lock either way. Okay. All right. Good. All right. We're starting off good here. All right. So why don't you give me your left back and I'll give you my left wing back.
I wonder if we're going to have the same guy here because he has played a lot of this season on the left wing back position, but I'm just playing the left back because he does play with that with Tunisia. It is Ali Abdi from Nice in Ligue 1, who crazy enough was playing in the 2nd division of French football season prior. This season with Nice, I don't know if it's just that he's gotten now much higher up the field, but he's got 5 goals, 2 assists, and Nice qualified to the Champions League, at least for the playoff round. And he's been instrumental. Like him, Dante down that left side, they've been absolutely cooking. And for him to get that move, and especially for Tunisian football, because right now a lot of their players are not performing the best. I think Ali Abdi has been the only player from Tunisia this season where I'm like, you could be in the CAF best 11 for club football at least. But Ali Abdi for me is the left back. I know this season mostly he's been playing as a left wing back, but as a born Tunisian, you know how to defend.
This is fascinating because I was for certain that you were going to say Ait Nouri from Wolves.
Nope.
Okay, so I have like a second team. That's not what this is about. I'm just doing it for an Instagram post. Follow us on Instagram.
Okay.
But Ait Nouri's on my second. He's my second team. I did not have Ali Abdi in my top two, but I don't watch a lot of the French league. But I'm looking at the stats. Great shout. I do think that if you look at Tunisian players throughout Europe, it's not exactly like the high watermark of Tunisian footballers right now. I went with Antoine Semenyo from Bournemouth as my left wing back. I know he's like a left. I know he's like a more of a midfielder, but I'm just okay. I can't go in Ait Nouri because I think defensively he is a travesty, like just terrible. I've seen him get shredded for Algeria and Wolves way too many times. I was thinking about the other Algerian.
Ben Sabani from Dortmund. No. He's not in the best 11. No.
Okay. Didn't like him. I didn't put him in my top two or even top three because the games I've watched of Dortmund, he looks like he kind of looks like Ait Nouri, if I'm being honest. Looks like he can attack and can't really defend at all. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go with the guy playing in the better league with the better stats. So that's why I went with Ait Nouri there. I just think Semenyo's been a dog. And so I put him in here. I know I'm stretching the position a little bit, but it's because I didn't think that the African defenders this year were that good. I think there was one position that I think is stacked, and we'll get to that soon. And the others, I was like, I don't know if I want like a true left back and then a left mid. I feel like I don't need to do that. I should consolidate this into one position. And I went with Semenyo from Bournemouth because he had an absolutely outrageous season for the Cherries.
One thing I would say, though, is Ait Nouri, when he moved into the back five, because Wolves obviously sacked, what was that guy's name? Gary O'Neill, and they got in Vitor Pereira. Then they moved to a back five formation, and then Ait Nouri was cooking for Wolves in that second half of the season. So maybe he fits perfectly into the left wing back position, but I mean, you got to get somehow Semenyo in here because he's had an outrageous season. No, I don't think anybody could have seen it. Is he going to move over the summer from Bournemouth? Who knows? But at least for the Ghanaian national team, as they have aspirations for qualifying for the World Cup this year, Semenyo is a key player.
Yeah, I mean, he passed Kudus, I think, in the Ghanaian hype train this season. Is that fair to say?
You
don't think so?
No, I prefer not to speak.
Do you like Kudus or do you hate him? I can't tell.
I love Kudus, so nothing can ever be detrimental to his value to me because I love the player. I think he's just had one bad season. West Ham have been diabolical. I'm not leaving the hype train anymore.
No, nor should you, because he's a proper player. I just think I never thought Semenyo would be this good. Maybe that's being disrespectful, but
neither did I, to be honest.
I didn't see this. If we're talking like African players who kind of broke out this season, bro, I've been saying Mbuemo's a stud for 4 years. Like that one, I've been known that he was good. Mohamed Kudus, I know that guy's a proper footballer. Wissa, I knew that he was good. I didn't know he'd be this good, but I was like, yeah, that guy's a stud. Semenyo, I was like, I don't know. And maybe it's because the Ghanaian national team were in such disarray that I just didn't rate him. But, I mean, some of the games that he had this season were outrageous. And so I think he outperformed any expectation you could possibly have. You want to do your two CBs? I do have two CBs, even though I'm going with the back three. You have two CBs. Why don't you give me yours and we'll go.
All right, my two CBs, Calvin Bassey, Fulham, beast of a season. I didn't think he was going to be this good because what I saw at Ajax, I was like, oh, dude, this guy can't play football. Very physical defender. If you just tell him to defend, Calvin Bassey's your guy. He's been unbelievable. So Calvin Bassey, Super Eagles, I mean, hopefully they somehow qualify to the World Cup because it would be a travesty not to see a player like Calvin Bassey at the World Cup. And then my other CB is Ndika from AS Roma, who they were struggling big time in the first half of the season, and him and AS Roma. But second half, Ndika, thanks to Claudio, the Tinkerman, coming into the team, beast of a player too. So just you need that sort of Tinkerbell sort of dust, I guess, for Ndika. And he got it in the second half of the season, and AS Roma didn't concede any goals. Now, also that's down to their goalkeeper, but Ndika has been a stud in their defensive line. So those are my two CBs for the CAF best 11.
I also have Ndika in my best 11. He played every minute of the Serie A season.
Yep. It was unbelievable.
That's insane. So, I mean, anytime you're doing that, you're giving me the full 38 games and you finish in a Europa League spot for a good team, probably gonna make the CAF team of the season. And so
You know
I
what's
think, I don't,
you know what
yeah.
you know what's crazy? Frankfurt could have had Ndika and Pacho as a 2CB partnership if they didn't sell them.
What's the story there?
Crazy.
Why did he just not want to sign a contract extension, or like why did he leave?
He just left. He just went for better pastures, as they would say, and went to AS Roma. I mean, AS Roma are a massive club in Italy, so I don't really blame him. But Frankfurt are a big club too. But yeah, maybe they just had a difference of agreement, and he left.
Yeah, he had some Prem shouts back in the day. I know Spurs were linked with him for a while, and when he went to Roma, I was a little surprised about that. But amazing season from Ndika. And the second guy, so I have Calvin Bassey on my team too. I think it's a great shout, but I went with Emmanuel Agbodu from Wolverhampton. So when he was at Roms, 14 games played, just in Liga, 5 wins, 4 draws, 5 losses. They were like mid-table, 1.4 points per match. Actually doing somewhat well. They might have even been 9th when he left. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the French league, but Roms are a disaster, and they need to win the second leg of their playoff game on Thursday to avoid relegation. Since he left, 19 games, 3 wins, 4 draws, 12 losses. Their points per match went from 1.4 to 0.68. So literally more than halved since he left. Now you say, all right, Jack, that's cool, whatever, correlation, not causation, I get you. Okay, let's go to Wolves now. 16 games in the Prem for Wolves. They won 7, drew 2, lost 7, 1.45 points per game. Before him at Wolves, I'll be a different manager. 20 games, 4 wins, 4 draws, 12 losses, 0.8 points per match. So the team that he left, their points per match halved, and the team that he went to, points per match doubled. And he was a starter for both teams. He was never a rotation guy. I think we're being a bit unfair to not award him with some of the responsibility for that, at least enough to get in as a center back in what I don't think was a very deep African pool this year.
We're forgetting one name, though. What about Aguerd?
What did he play? 21 games in the league? That was me. Injury.
Okay. Single from AS Monaco. Would you give him a shout? Because I think he's been also really good this season.
That was an interesting shout. I wasn't sure with Singo. I feel like you could make the argument. Another guy actually above Singo who's competing for me was Logan Costa at Villarreal.
Yeah, I was thinking him too.
Had a very, very solid season. He and Bassi are that's my partnership on my second team, Logan Costa. And again, I watch more La Liga, and I'm not really sure. There's another guy in Monaco who may or may not be on the list later, but that's my CBs.
Yeah, I think the CAF CBs actually performed quite well this season, if I'm going to be honest. And they have some rising stars, so especially Logan Costa. I think next season for Villarreal, especially playing in the Champions League, people will see the name Logan Costa and say, maybe the Sharks of Cabo Verde might actually qualify for the World Cup.
Dude, they got some ballers everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They got some dogs on that team. I mean, I love Cape Verde. I hope they go far at every tournament.
I need that kit.
We need that kit. Did I tell you I saw that kit in Buenos Aires?
Real? What? In Buenos Aires, of all places?
Yeah. Guy was walking around with a Cape Verde kit. I was like stunned. I like stopped mid-set. Wow. Whatever I was talking about, I froze. And I was like, that's the blue shark. I was like, how the fuck did that guy get that kit? He was like walking with like his fam or something. I didn't want to talk to him. I probably should have, but
yeah, you should have.
Oh my God.
Funny enough, I did a giveaway on my channel when I hit 20K for like those mystery boxes of football kits, and somebody obviously won. When the kit arrived, it was the Cabo Verde national team kit. I said, you lucky mofo. You got the Cabo Verde shirt. I couldn't believe it. Of all the kits possible.
That's like one of the best mystery kits you could ever get.
Oh, yeah, easily. It's a sick kit, by the way.
Fire.
Sick.
God, that's fire. Okay, well, there we go. Yeah, I have it written down right here, Garrett, 21 games in La Liga. If he played the full season, he would have been in over Agbadu for me. But it's just going to be hard with 21 games. I think what you said about a really good year for CAF CBs, I think there was a lot of CAF CBs who were like an 8 out of 10, but they didn't have like some of the superstar, like Mo Salah performances where you're like, holy hell, like, is this guy the best in his position? It was just like several guys, maybe like 5 or 6, who was like, that was a great season. But like they haven't reached Koulibaly at Napoli like levels yet. I don't think anyone's gotten close to his reputation either.
No, Koulibaly at Napoli. Streets won't forget.
The streets will not forget. Yeah. I almost put him in my team of the season.
forever.
Forever. Just off the aura. All right, let's go to right back. I have a right back as well. So, should I go first this time?
Yeah, I think we got the same player though. Surely.
Well, this is where I felt like two people had to be fit in.
Okay.
So for my actual pure right back, I went with Ola Aina from Nottingham Forest. I thought he was so.
Are you playing him as like a right center back?
Yes.
Okay.
Right center back.
Fair. That's fair.
Dude, I'm sorry. He was so freaking good. I had to fit him in here somewhere. I was like, this is bullshit. If Olaina is not in the best 11 of CAF, like something is wrong. Because again, compared to like the other CBs, CBs and defenders we included, I think if you're talking about like the best defender, he's probably number one. So I want him to be in my team of the season somehow. And so he's my right-sided center half. But I'm guessing you in with Hakimi.
Of course.
Yeah. Hakimi's my right wing back.
Yeah.
Surprise.
I mean, I don't think we need to explain. The dude was unbelievable this season. And if he somehow secures a treble, the Champions League with PSG, Hakimi is going down as one of the greatest players in CAF history. As long as he keeps on progressing with his career, like his legacy. He needs to win the AFCON, of course, with Morocco. But Hakimi will go down as when he ends his career, could go down as the best right back in CAF history at this rate.
As being a non-CAF historian, I need a big name to keep Hakimi out of that best ever 11. Like don't tell me this guy was pretty good in Lithuania for 10 years. Like I need what did he win for massive clubs? And was he considered the best in his position for years? Because I think Hakimi's had the best right back shout for probably like 3 seasons now. You don't have to say he's the best, but he's been up there. You know, he's been battling Trent for a time. Trent's probably better going forward. Hakimi might be a little bit better of a two-way guy, more responsibility for his national team versus Trent, certainly being the team captain for Morocco. I mean, dude, Hakimi's I have him in my top 10 Ballon d'Or. And I think if he's not in your top 10 Ballon d'Or, you're crazy. He's got to be up there for this season. So yeah, he makes the CAF best 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he the best player?
In the CAF best 11?
Yeah, the number one. Or do you want to wait till the end?
I mean, the argument versus Salah is hard to quantify because it's like we're comparing offensive stats. They're both on the right side, but it's like how many GA for a wing back is equivalent to 50 GA for a winger in the Prem. I don't know. I think Salah was just untouchable for 4 months of the year.
But I think Hakimi is right there, though, for his performances. Not even just going attacking wise, but defensively, I think he's been rock solid this year. In some seasons, I've kind of looked at Hakimi and he looked like a liability in one-on-one situations. This year, he's definitely improved on that because in the Champions League, he's been hardly beaten in one-on-one options. Maybe Rashford got the best of him on one occasion, Martinelli on one occasion, but nothing threatening to get a goal from the opposition. So Hakimi has really improved on that aspect of his game. And for me, yeah, if he's not one, he's definitely two.
Definitely two. Yeah, he was looking like 8 Nori there for a little bit. I was like, oh God, this guy, all he can do is attack. But I was very impressed with him against Arsenal, especially in the second leg. A lot of good one-on-one defending.
Also Liverpool.
Also Liverpool as well. Dude, him and Nuno Mendes. Streets won't forget that performance either. Okay, so I think I've given you my back 3 and my wing backs. So I have 2 central midfielders. Why don't you give me your 3 midfielders, and I'll compare that to the 2 that I have.
Okay. The 3 in the midfield I got is Lamine Camara from AS Monaco. Beast of a season as well. I think he's only like 22 years old. Stud. He was a breakthrough star at the last AFCON. I cannot wait to see him. If Senegal qualifies to the World Cup, I think this guy is going to be unbelievable. Again, he will qualify to the Champions League for next season. I mean, if you guys watch him for AS Monaco or for Senegal, you know, this kid is the sort of next generation player for Senegal. He is going to be the leader, the Sadio Mane, the Koulibaly. Lamine Camara will be that guy for them. Next up then is Zambo Anguissa, Napoli. Unbelievable season as well. I think he had his best goal scoring season of his career. Won the Scudetto once again with Napoli. Been unbelievable. And then my last player, because I kind of got like 2 number 8s. So I'm going to go with the cam. I'm just going to go all out attack here. I went with Saibari from PSV because he had 11 goals, 11 assists, and end of the season, Saibari was clutching up for PSV big time. When they were trying to catch up with Ajax, Saibari, Tillman, these sort of players were stepping up for PSV, and I think Saibari, he has the problem with Saibari. He's a very talented player, but sometimes through a stretch of games, he goes missing. But I think overall this season, he's really complemented his game well. And yeah, Saibade for me is in the Cam. Those are my three midfielders.
Okay. I have the same two as you. I have Kamara and Anguissa as my two central midfielders. Kamara's a beast. He reminds me of like a Moises Caicedo regen, which is hilarious because Caicedo's only like 23 or 24. Yeah. He's not even that old either. But yeah, that kind of like destroyer midfielder, but has an offensive game. He's not just like a win the ball. He's not a Tyler Adams, like just win the ball back and like pass sideways. Like he can facilitate. He's a beast, man. I don't know where he's going to go. I don't know if you've seen any transfer rumors for him, but
no.
21 years old, CAF player of the year last season, young player of the year. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Beast. Freaking beast. I'm excited where he goes. Please don't be Man City. I'll be furious if he replaces Rodri. The game's gone.
Oh God. The game's definitely gone.
Anguissa's an interesting one because I feel like this guy has been so freaking good for so many years, but he's never regarded as like the best African midfielder. Do you think he is the best African midfielder?
Talent level, I wouldn't say so. Because you still got Yves Bissouma, Pape Matar, you still got these sort of players. But Anguissa, performance-wise, last season, performance-wise, definitely not, because also Napoli were not great. But this year, best midfielder, I think his hands down is Zambo Anguissa. It's just the box, not quick, not physical, but just very elegant on the ball. I think Zambo Anguissa is highly underrated by football fans around the world. I never hear about Zambo Anguissa. I hear about, Phil Foden. I hear about these sort of guys. Why doesn't Zambo Anguissa get love? Please, this dude has dreads and is unbelievable footballer. What can you not love about this player? Seriously. Is it because he's from Cameroon and he doesn't get, the highlights about him? Come on, man. I mean, Zambo Anguissa has been such a vital piece for Napoli for the last 3 seasons. And in the last 3 seasons, 2 league titles.
Bro, when I watch Napoli, they can't get the ball off of him.
Nope. It's glued to his feet.
Glued to for a guy that big. He's like Yaya Toure with like arguably more aura and yet has no clout. It is weird. And I don't know if it's maybe he doesn't speak any English and so there's just not media. It could be because it's effing Napoli and just nobody talks about Napoli that much. It's all Kvara and Osimhen. Like all the love went to those 2 players. Even this season, it's like Scott McTominay MVP. And McTominay was fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But like Anguissa's doing things that I'm like, he should be regarded in like is he one of the better midfielders? Not the best. I don't think he is the best midfielder, but entering into that conversation of like the top 12, top 15, like, yeah, let's put some. Why are there never like a bunch of links for him? I don't understand that.
Nah, he's fine at Napoli. I'd rather let him stay there, not get clout, and then in 10 years and 20 years time, if I do have kids, I will tell them about Zambo Anguissa.
Oh yeah, I think you and I would much prefer him to never leave Napoli. I think that's ideal. I'm just shocked that we never see similar transfer rumors. Like Koulibaly was linked away from Napoli every freaking season. Every freaking season, they were like, here, $80 million bid, $100 million bid. And then he, finally ends up going to Chelsea and now he's in Saudi Arabia. But Anguissa never really got the same demand, you could say, in the market, which I find kind of weird. But anyways, yeah, that's a beast.
There's 3 players that we didn't really talk about in the midfield who also were really good. What about Partey? Does he kind of get a shout here for best 11?
All right, we're opening up the toolbox here. In my second team, I had a very, very intense debate with myself last night between Carlos Baleba and Thomas Partey as my backup CDM-CM. If you want an offensive guy, Partey is better than Baleba. If you want a battleship destroyer, Baleba's better. Partey has the Champions League appearances. And I think he was solid in the Champions League. I don't think he was amazing. I don't think he sucked. I would give him a 7.5 out of 10 in the UCL overall. Maybe even an 8 in parts of the group phase. Baleba didn't have that opportunity, so we didn't see him in European football. Brighton didn't finish in a European place this season. So there's a couple like team things that I think you could dock Baleba for that you can't dock Partey for. But I don't know. Which one would you take?
I would still go with Partey because I think he's still been overall better than this season with Baleba. Because Baleba has like that standout game. I think it was like Chelsea at home where he was unbelievable, destroying the midfield of Chelsea single-handedly. But Baleba needs time at Brighton. This guy cannot go to a Man City, a Liverpool, a Chelsea. Baleba needs to just stay at Brighton, play 38 games, and then keep on improving. But Cameroon have basically two unbelievable midfielders right here. They got Baleba and Anguissa. They have to qualify for the World Cup if you're Cameroonian. So I think Partey would deserve to be like a shout in the best 11. Also, there's two other guys. There's Papa Gueye from Villarreal. This guy's had an incredible season for Villarreal. He hasn't started every single game for them, but man, whenever I watch him play, I'm like, this guy's an engine. Gets you goals, scores screamers of goals. I'm like, where's the shout for Papa Gueye in this team? And one player who also made the move from Reims in Ligue 1 to Wolves is Marshall Munetsi, the Zimbabwean midfielder who was unbelievable in the second half of the season for Wolves, and he's like a box-to-box midfielder. I think he did score yesterday against Brentford, a ridiculous goal where he went through the entire midfield for Brentford and put it in top right corner. He might be the only shot for Zimbabwean ever in the best 11 for Africa. So shout out to Marshall Metzi, who was unbelievable for both Rams and Wolves.
Okay, I love that shout. My thing against Papa Gueye is I don't think he's the best midfielder for Villarreal. I think Carmona has a bit more responsibility. I think Papa Gueye got a couple red cards too. I think he like led La Liga in fouls or something. He it got a bit of the like just young guy mistakes here and there, kind of similar to what like Sarr does for Spurs every once in a while. Just like kind of immature mistakes. But I do think his day will come. I have Alex Iwobi on my second team. I thought he was a freak for Fulham, bro. This guy looked cooked 2 years ago. 16 GA for Fulham? Come on, bro. He's a beast. He's a beast.
He's had a good season.
But, dude, Cameroon, do they have the best midfield in Africa?
Oh, that's a tough one because I would still go with Morocco.
Amrabat.
Unahi. I love Unahi, bro. Because this guy might be like an average player at Panathinaikos. Then he goes to Morocco and he'll be the Ballon d'Or favorite. Also, El Hanous. Can't forget about El Hanous at Leicester.
Yeah.
Baller.
Okay, I was thinking Buffal, but I think that man fell off.
Buffal, bro. This ain't 2022.
My bad. It's still scarred in my memory. I'm staring at that kit. That's why I'm thinking. You got me having flashbacks.
But yeah, Cameroon probably on paper also. I mean, that's a sick midfield.
Who's their attack? Do they play with an attacking midfielder, or like who's next to Baleba and Anguissa? I need to look this up.
I'll have to look it up as well.
No idea.
It's been now 2 months since I watched the Cameroon versus Libya game, but all I remember from that game was Mbeumo was cooking, and Anguissa and Baleba were. Baleba, by the way, when he went away and played against Eswatini, Baleba looked like an Eswatini player. That just shows you how difficult it is in CAF World Cup qualifiers or CAF AFCON qualifiers. But yeah, I mean, on paper, but it's very difficult. You know this with international football. Doesn't matter. You can have the most stacked team. You'll still lose. Japan, Brazil, doesn't matter. You have to perform on the international level. And I would feel like Baleba hasn't reached that level. And Gisa, I would say, has still had good performances for Cameroon.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm looking it up. Looks like they either play Martin Hongla from Granada in the attacking midfielder or Danny Namaso from FC Porto. He's like a backup there.
Okay,
seems
he's a
like
backup for Porto, yeah.
Seems like that's typically their midfield trio. But yeah, dude, CAF is insane. I never forget watching Ivory Coast in the group stage last game and Seko Fofana like basically going one-man army because nobody else on Ivory Coast could do anything. And it wasn't working, but I mean, goddamn, he was trying. And he was trying really, really hard. But it's hard for like the elite midfielders to stand out like that. They can get swallowed up so quick in an AFCON. I can't wait for the next one. It's going to be fire.
Can't wait.
Okay. Yeah, some really, really good midfielders in Africa this season. Let's go to left wing here. I'm curious who you went with this.
I don't know what I go with here, to be honest, because I got 4 guys. I have 4 names here.
Okay. All right.
I somehow have to get Mbeumo in this team. I somehow have to get Wissa in this team. I somehow have to get Mohamed Amoura from Wolfsburg in this team. And I somehow have to get Ademola Lookman in this team. So which one do I go for, bro? There's like, you only have one, because we already know.
Shit. I forgot Lookman. Oh my God.
He still was great this season, Ademola Lookman. The right wing, we already know who it's going to be. I have no clue who to put on the left wing. I guess we go with Mbeumo, even though he doesn't play on the right wing. I mean, on the left wing. But the dude was unbelievable this season for Brentford. Unbelievable. But then I look at Mohamed Amoura, and I think he had double digits in goals and assists for Wolfsburg this season. So this is a tough call. I'll just go with Mbeumo. I think the guy can cook on any of the front 3 positions for Brentford, for Cameroon. I'll put him in the left wing because he's been unbelievable. Shout out to Brian.
There's actually no correct answer here.
No, there isn't.
I mean, I'm looking
also,
at this
there's another
menu.
player. Sorry, there's another player. Gaysond from Nice, Ivorian. I think he had more than 13 goals this season. So there's another guy who could play on the left wing who was chefing it up.
Shouldn't we include Marmouche as a nominee as well?
I have Marmouche in the striker.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay. We are cooking
Nominee.
here.
He's not my selection yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay.
There's a lot to choose.
Dude, this is impossible. Okay, let's go. Let's take this one at a time. Who had a more impressive season, Mbeumo or Lookman?
Mbeumo.
Dude, Mbuemo's unbelievable. Mbuemo's unbelievable. Okay, so I'm gonna bump him there. I was between Mbeumo. Well, not Mbeumo. I had him in my second team as right wing. Just because I'm sorry, like Salah is just. What am I gonna do, man? If he was even just good this season, Mbeumo, 100%. But it's like untouchable levels. I was between Amura and Marmouche for left wing, and I have no freaking clue. I mean, if you want, Marmouche was so good in the Bundesliga that he was doing his own Mo Salah impersonation in the Bundesliga before he switched over. It's a disappointing season for City. They have no silverware for the first time in how long? I don't know if you blame Marmouche for that. I don't think so. I think he was actually quite good the whole time he was there. I don't know what to do. I guess I'll. Damn.
Now you got me.
I guess
now you got me stuck. Now I'm thinking, do I put Marmouche on the left wing? Because at Frankfurt this season, the dude was unstoppable. Then he goes to City and he's still scoring goals. He scored a hat trick against Newcastle. He scored that ridiculous goal against Bournemouth. So you cannot dock Marmouche for going to Man City. Like, he had the pressure as one of the biggest signings this season, because there hasn't been like a lot of high transfer signings this season in football. Marmouche went to City and was still balling out in a dysfunctional City team. Oh fuck! Now I'm stuck here. Now I'm stuck.
Damn. Yeah, the City stats are pretty solid too.
And Mbeumo was unbelievable for Brentford.
I mean, look, dude, I'm already twisting Semenyo into a left wing back, so I feel like I'm just gonna stick with Marmouche here. Amora, though, like, phenomenal season.
Phenomenal.
Algeria's left side of the field is cracked out. Oh my god.
If only Shirky would have been going to play for Algeria, I would say they have the best front three in Africa. I would have said that, because they would have had Amora, Guri, and Shirky. They might be lifting the AFCON in Morocco. And
they might be at the semifinal of the World Cup with that. Oh my god. I mean, that's
Shirky decided to play for France. Man, Shirky, I hope you don't regret that decision. But yeah, Mohamed Amora this season with Wolfsburg, after he made the move from Royal Union, cooking, bro. Cooking.
Dude, can you imagine if Algeria make the semifinal, the World Cup after Morocco?
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I lie.
I don't think diplomatic, bro. I don't think the diplomatic relations can recover from that. I think we've reached the point of no return between Morocco and Algeria.
So you're going with Marmouche then, left wing?
I'm going with Marmouche. Yeah, it's just hard not to.
I'll go with Mbeumo. I'll stick with Brian.
Okay, striker. I have Guirassy.
I want to put Marmouche in the striker position. Guirassy this season, and Osimhen. You can't forget Victor Osimhen, what he did. Even in the Europa League, he was still scoring a lot of goals because Galatasaray were abysmal defensively, couldn't keep a clean sheet to save their lives. This is tough because all three of them were unbelievable. Guirassy, top goal scorer, Champions League. I think he got 20 goals in Bundesliga, if I'm not mistaken, or at least more than 18. And Osimhen was unbelievable. I'm going to go for Marmouche in the striker position, though. I think he was unbelievable this season, and he's going to still keep on improving. I don't know what's going to happen with him, if he's just going to convert into a left winger now that Haaland is fully fit for next season. But Marmouche was playing a lot for striker with Frankfurt. I'll stick with Marmouche.
Yeah, this one was tough between Guirassy, Osimhen, and Wissa. I think deserves to be nominated. I mean, again, freaking, I can't even remember his name. That's how irrelevant he is to Brentford now. Ivan Toney who? They're better without him. It's insane how good that duo is for Brentford. I think one of the best stories in football this season. Just how much they've been cooking everybody. And Osimhen, for me, it's just hard to measure Turkish league performance because I don't watch the Turkish Super League, and I know Galatasaray didn't go well, definitely didn't go as far in the Europa League as they probably should have. But I think I'm gonna go Guirassy just for UCL. Just for UCL output. I think he did everything he could, and it just wasn't enough to beat Barca.
Dude, he scored 13 goals in the UCL this season. 13.
Yeah.
Crazy stats.
That's insane.
Hat-trick against Barcelona in the second leg. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. I mean, Guirassy was unbelievable this season, so shout out to him. Seriously, I think he's the most underrated striker in the world. Never gets shouts. I never see people like, oh my God, look at Guirassy this weekend. Nobody ever shouts for him. Who?
Lukaku?
He's better than Lukaku. Come on, bro.
No, I know he's better, but he just won the Scudetto with Napoli. He's underrated.
Yeah. You could probably say Lukaku's underrated too. He's kind of taken the.
Let's say the assists.
The aura has fallen off. The aura has definitely fallen off with Lukaku, but there's no PR for Guirassy. Zero PR.
I'm telling you, dude.
Why did Guinea are such frauds? Why did they not qualify for the AFCON? Such frauds.
That is insane. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to get in there, but like, damn, dude, that's...
Bro, they could have beat Tanzania in their final game. That's all they had to do. They had to beat Tanzania. They would have qualified to the AFCON. It's such a shame,
I don't know a Tanzanian player. I don't know a player for Tanzania. Should I? Is there a big player I should know?
He used to play at Aston Villa, the striker. Samata.
No, not ringing a single bell with me.
No? Okay, he was a flop at Aston Villa, but he was cooking in Belgium.
Oh, okay. There's my Tanzanian ball knowledge exposed. Okay, shit. Well, yeah, this is another left-wing striker. I don't know what you do. Like, whoever's putting together the CAF awards this year, because it's not you and me.
That they should call us.
Yeah, they probably should call us. If I see the only like unacceptable striker I would see is who would piss me off. That would be mental. Yeah. Like, never take the CAF Awards seriously again. If Nicholas Jackson makes the best 11, that'd be shocking.
Or En-Nesyri.
Yeah, who's the guy balling out for Olympiacos?
El Kaabi.
I mean, good players, but like, come on.
Come on,
man. CAF is too stacked at the striker position. Unlike other federations who are thin as hell, like CAF in strikers is peanut butter and jelly.
Left wing as well. And then
left wing as well. Honestly, right wing's pretty damn good too, but I'm assuming we both have Mo Salah there because how could you not?
The king, bro. The king. Best African player this season. And I didn't think he would reach this level. 2 more years of Liverpool. He has to win that AFCON, though. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, he doesn't need an AFCON for his career. When you're Egyptian, you need to win an AFCON for your legacy as an Egyptian. Nobody in Egypt will take you as like the best player ever for Egyptians. Obviously, club level wise, maybe no Egyptian will ever reach the heights of Mo Salah, but he has to win that AFCON. You have Marmoush, Salah. I know the midfield and defensively Egypt are not the strongest, but the levels that Salah and Marmoush are showing this season, it has to translate into AFCON, and it has to translate them going far and winning the AFCON, in my opinion. But Salah with Liverpool this season, they would have not won the Premier League without him. Definitely not.
Anybody who is saying Salah doesn't need an AFCON is European.
Yep.
Nobody from the continent of Africa is saying, yeah, AFCON optional. Nobody's saying that. He absolutely needs one. It will be cruel if he doesn't get one because he's gotten to the final. He just hasn't been able to lift the trophy. But shocker, in Africa, the AFCON is a big freaking deal and people really want to win it. It's like if Messi never won a Copa America or World Cup. Argentines don't give a shit what he won with Barcelona. Are you kidding me? I don't even see Barcelona jerseys here. Nobody cares. Nobody cares at all. Maybe in the Ronaldo-Messi debate they care. What have you won with the Argentine national team? Because Maradona did this and did this. It's national team. That whole thing is clearly like European, maybe even like American bias too. Like, what is the Asian Cup? What is the Copa? What's the AFCON? It's like, some people actually really care about these tournaments, and maybe even more than the World Cup. Some teams would definitely take an AFCON over getting grouped at the World Cup or a quarterfinal at the World Cup. There are fans who'd say, I don't care. I just want to be the best African team. I want to be the best Asian team. So
I would, you know who that team is right now? That's Morocco. They want that AFCON badly. They need it for like another South Korea, win the Asian Cup. You always make the round of 16 and lose. England, win the Euro. Gotten very close. Win the Euro.
Like for some teams, that's an interesting angle from it, which is absolutely correct. Where you are in history depends on what's prioritized more.
Exactly.
Absolutely. In Morocco, they need to like validate the World Cup. So I completely agree. I completely agree.
But Salah was unbelievable in the right wing position. But one player to shout out though, the guy we saw at Real Betis who went to Serie A, Hassan Diao, beast of a player, bro. Guy's only like 19, 20 years old, cooking. He's gonna be now. He switched allegiance to Senegal, so happy to see that. So shout out to him. Kudus, you need a better season next year, buddy. I'm looking at you. I love you, Kudus. You need to improve next season.
What was Diao? Was he Spanish? Italian?
Yeah. Spanish.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, you're not breaking into that Spanish national team. So that was probably a good. Over who?
He could probably, if he keeps improving the way he is, he probably could have taken Nico's spot on that left wing.
Streets won't forget Nico to last Euro. That's gonna be tough.
I know, but got to give it to Hassan Diao, bro. He's only 19 years old. Only 19.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do you know the cutoff age for young player of the year? Is it 23?
No, probably is 23, I would imagine.
We giving it to Kamara?
Yep. Again.
Okay. I think I'm okay with that. But Diao, now that he's chosen Senegal, I don't know if he'll be a top 5 nominee, but he should be on that top 10 list.
Oh no, he definitely should be. I would probably go with top 5 at this rate. Him, Amad Diallo, I would probably go with him. I'm intrigued to see what Alcomach can do. Sure. Yeah, and I'm intrigued to see what Alcomach is going to do after he returns from ACL for Villarreal. I think that guy's going to have a big season next year. Hopefully he just stays fit because he's a baller.
One player that nobody knows except me and Moroccans is Omar El Hilali from Espanyol. 21 years old, led La Liga in tackles this season. I think he should be in that top 5 list too.
He will just never touch the field for Morocco as long as Hakimi is alive.
I know. I'm like, dude, you got Mizrahi and Hakimi ahead of you. There's probably another Moroccan right back that is also a freak. And it's just like, damn. It's like being an Egyptian right winger. It's like, well, that was fun. It would have been fun to play for Egypt, but unfortunately, Mo Salah is ahead of me, so I get no minutes. But life's not fair.
Life is definitely not fair. But it was definitely, I think, a very good year for CAF players. I think they really performed well. Now they just got to keep going with it, especially heading into the AFCON and World Cup. So keep doing it, CAF players. You guys are doing well.
Hey, they did better than CONCACAF.
They did better than AFC. And there is a shout that they maybe did better than some CONMEBOL positions.
Well, I guess we're just going to have to see when we make our combined CONMEBOL Best 11, which will be a separate video on the channel that you guys will just have to be subscribed for if you want to find out which Best 11 team from last season was better, Africa versus South America. Those are our list, guys. I'll make sure to flash both of our Best 11s on the screen right now so you can check it out. Let us know which 11 was better. Let us know. I want to see a war down below.
Who's cooking?
About it.
Who's cooking?
Who's cooking?
Hashtag Michael or hashtag Jack? Who's cooking, guys?
Who is the Gordon Ramsay of the CAF Best 11 this season? And if there's any name that we forgot at any position, please let us know.
Yes, please.
CAF is not my specialty, but I do care about the region a lot and trying to get into it more. So I'll look into any players that you guys want to nominate. We hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to Michael's channel on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description. We appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll see y'all in the next one.